Hi folks, welcome back to the vlog. If you've been around this channel for a bit, you'll know I love cataloguing beer. Not just drinking it, actually logging it. And thanks to Untappd, I've got a very clear picture of the beverages I keep returning to week after week. So today we're doing something a bit self-indulgent. My top 10 breweries according to my Untappd feed. These are the breweries whose beers I've tried the most, the ones that keep me coming back, and the ones that represent my beer palate perfectly, for better or worse. I'll run through the list, I'll give you some context for each, share my personal thoughts on what makes them great, and maybe a few gripes too, because we don't sugarcoat things around here. Let's dive in.
It's Monday, don't groan, don't fear. The Beard and Beer blog bloke is here. Talking nonsense, beard on show. Grab a brew and watch him go.
So starting at the bottom of my list is Polly's. Now, they only have 21 beers logged on my Untappd, which isn't huge compared to others, but quality matters more than quantity here. Polly's is all about balance. Hop-forward IPAs that hit hard without becoming just a citrus assault. Some really clever saisons and occasional stouts that feel properly crafted. What I like most is their consistency. You pick up a Polly's beer and you know what you're getting. Craft with care, but approachable. Without that try-hard vibe you sometimes get with small, hype-driven breweries. For me, Polly's is like that dependable friend who doesn't need to be loud to impress you. You know what you're going to get, and it usually works. Next up, Williams Brothers. They are classic Scottish brewing at its finest. Their use of Scottish ingredients, heritage grains, and historic brewing techniques is fascinating. I love how they mix tradition and experimentation. A peated IPA next to a fruity summer ale, for instance. What keeps me coming back is their depth and heritage. There's a narrative behind the beer. You can taste the history and care in every sip. And honestly, that is rare in a world dominated by Instagram-ready 6.5% hazy IPAs that taste the same regardless of the brewery. Williams Brothers is the kind of brew that reminds me of why I got into craft beer in the first place. And interestingly, their Joker IPA is my go-to on a night out because it's cracking and you can get it bloody everywhere. Coming in at number 8, we've got Basqueland. Basqueland is proper beer nerd territory. Their IPAs are beautifully layered, tropical, resinous, perfectly balanced. But it's not just hops. Their sours, their stouts, their barrel-aged stuff, all thoughtfully done. What I love is their consistency across styles. Some breweries smash IPAs but flounder on sours or saisons. Basqueland nails both. And there's a sense of place to their beers. You know you're tasting Basque craft culture in every glass. It's a brewery for someone like me who wants to explore variety without disappointment. Number 7 is Wylam. I've logged 28 beers here, and that's a sign of something serious. I keep going back. Wylam is the consistency plus curiosity combo. Their core range is solid, approachable, and yet they push boundaries with seasonal or experimental beers that never feel gimmicky. There's also a community vibe to their taproom culture, collabs, events. You get the sense they're not just chasing hype, they're building a scene. That makes drinking their beers feel like a shared experience, not just a consumption exercise. Number 6 is Northern Monk. This is where my list starts to get really serious. With 32 beers logged, Northern Monk's influence on my Untappd is very clear. They're a brewery that balances innovation with polish. Their barrel-aged stouts are legendary, their hoppy beers are complex, and they aren't afraid to lean into new, weird experimental styles. They have attitude, but that kind of works. You're aware you're drinking something special, but it never alienates you. There's flair, but it's grounded in craftsmanship. And at the halfway point, we have Azvex. Azvex is a playful powerhouse. Fucking... what was I thinking when I wrote that? Everything they do has personality. Their branding, their beer names, the experimentation. It's all very tongue-in-cheek, but it works because the beer delivers. They're also the brewery that taught me to expect the unexpected. An Azvex beer might be hazy, might be sour, might be bitter as hell, but you know it's going to make an impression. For me, Azvex is fun, bold, slightly irreverent, and that's exactly what top 10 breweries need to bring to the table. Number 4, Neon Raptor. I've logged 48 beers from these guys. Almost half a century of fucking bangers. Neon Raptor is all about hop artistry. The aroma, the mouthfeel, the balance. Everything screams attention to detail. And beyond the beer itself, they're also clever with collabs and seasonal releases. It feels like a journey, not just ticking off beers. Drinking Neon Raptor is like visiting an artist's studio. Every beer has its own brushstroke, but you can see the same hand guiding the whole canvas. Fuck me, Jay, you're a pretentious cunt. In the bronze medal spot, we have Pomona Island. Pomona is a brewery that combines ambition with reliability. Their IPAs are spectacularly juicy. Their sours are clean but wild, and they have this knack for turning weird flavour combinations into something sublime. They are the brewery I reach for when I want to discover something that feels new but isn't off-putting. Pomona is about pushing boundaries while keeping the drinker engaged, not alienated. Silver medalists, Verdant. Verdant is all about IPA mastery. The mouthfeel, the tropical fruit layers, the resinous backbone, it's all there. And they keep it consistent across dozens of beer, which is insane. With 63 beers logged, it's clear I just keep coming back. Verdant rewards repeat drinking. Subtle differences between batches, slight tweaks in hops. Everything showing thought and care. It's a brewery that has earned loyalty, not just hyped it. And at number 1, the undisputed champion of the world, Overtone. Now we all know what's been happening with Overtone recently, which is an absolute bloody shame. Hopefully they'll roll back into something in the near future. But I've logged 85 different Overtone beers. That's practically a lifetime in Untappd terms. Overtone is consistency, innovation, and scale all in one. Their IPAs, sours, stouts, experimental beers. Every release feels like it's been tested, tasted, and tweaked to perfection. And yet they're approachable. You can hand someone an Overtone beer and it will impress, but it'll never feel like you need tasting notes to enjoy it. I always say you cannot go wrong with an Overtone, and that is so true. Overtone is a brewery that defines my taste. It's the one I trust to deliver, week after week, beer after beer, and that is why Overtone tops my list. So that's my top breweries according to Untappd. A few things stood out. Quantity and quality are not always the same, but these breweries manage both. I gravitate towards breweries that combine consistency with creativity. I love breweries that have personality, whether it's irreverent, as Vex, nostalgic, Williams Brothers, or experimental with Overtone. And yes, this list is a very personal reflection of my tastes, not a universal ranking. If you've tried these breweries, let me know what you think. If you have favourites that I've missed, throw them in the comments. I'm always looking for the next beer to obsess over. Like, subscribe, all that YouTube wankiness, and I'll be back soon with more beer-related chaos. Cheers!